Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So we have found ourselves this morning, not suddenly because we did drive, obviously, and just wake up here.
No, that'd be weird.
That'd be weird. We found ourselves back at the location we started yesterday to see if we can go ahead and take a tour and try and get some footage to show all of you. Now, this place is run by the same historical society as Washington's office, which did not allow any filming or photography.
No.
So, we're figuring maybe a 50-50 chance on this one, but we'll see what we can do. So, we're going to go get some tickets and head inside. All right. Up. All right, everybody. So, as we thought, the Abrams Delight Museum was no photography, no filming.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, but we did take some pictures, so we'll put them up for you, display them. We'll display them now. We'll tell you a little bit about what it is. Basically, Winchester's oldest home, built in 1752, I think it was, right?
I don't remember.
I think it's 1752.
1752.
And was used as a Quaker meeting house as well, but was passed down through 5 generations of their family, and until it was basically left abandoned for some 30 years and taken over by the Historical Society, and they actually managed to reclaim a lot of the original family items that were in the house. A lot of furniture, clocks, things that date back to 1700s as well. So very interesting. If you have the opportunity to swing by, I highly encourage it, because what it is a personalized tour. Basically, it was just the two of us, and we went in with one of the curators and guides who walked us through and pointed out all the different architecture and the significance of each item. So it's really neat, and highly recommend that. So what we are doing now is we're parked just outside Stonewall Jackson's headquarters museum. So what this is a residence just north of Old Town, and it was used by Thomas Stonewall Jackson, general for the Confederacy, during or just before his Valley campaign here in the Shenandoah Valley. So he was previously stationed at the Taylor Museum, which is right in Old Town. Is now what's left of it is now retail and dining space. But because people kept bothering him, he needed a place removed, so he came here. All right. So we're gonna see if we're able to film inside there. We'll try and get some shots on the outside, and we're gonna go on and see what's there. There's going to be a lot of artifacts relating, of course, to Stonewall Jackson, the Battle of Winchester, the several battles of Winchester, and the Civil War in general. So let's go on and see what we can find. Here we are at the Stonewall Jackson Headquarters Museum. As you can see, it is in residential district. Interestingly enough, it's positioned quite well up on a hill.
Indeed.
All right, guys. So as we expected, again, no photos or photographs, filming allowed to take place inside the Stonewall Jackson Headquarters Museum. So that's unfortunate. But I can tell you that it was an extremely interesting wealth of information there. Really think that you should check that out if you're ever in town. Some very interesting artifacts that are unique to the life and history of Stonewall Jackson. Actually, very interesting point is the house was owned by Colonel Moore, who was part of the local militia, and then of course under command of Confederate troops. He's actually the great grandfather of actress Mary Tyler Moore, who had come and visited the site at some point some years ago. Sorry about that. She had visited the site some years ago, and she actually helped contribute to some of the restoration that took place there. So it's really neat. We came away with a few souvenirs. Des has her toothpick holder, as we collect at every site. I also was able to purchase salvaged actual bullets from the period Civil War found here in the Shenandoah Valley. They're everywhere in places, so it's not like it hurts, battlefield or relics or anything. They're literally everywhere. There are hundreds of thousands, millions of these things everywhere. So, a few bucks here and there, and it goes to benefit the foundation. So what we're going to do now is we're going to attempt some walking tours here in Winchester, which are led by app.
It's an app called iTour Mobile, I believe. It's free. I know it's on Android because that's what I have, but I believe it's also on the Apple iPhones.
Right.
It's free. I think there might be some of them you have to pay for, but I don't know. The ones we're doing are free. So.
I think it depends on who's providing them. And since this is from Winchester and it's part of the tourism, they're like, here, do this.
Yeah.
Whereas other places, sorry, my arm started to cramp. So.
There, we'll both hold it. It's cute.
Yeah. No.
Anyway.
So it's an interesting thing, and check out your locality, see if there's anything on that app that's in your area.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to pick one of the tours, and then we will join you on that shortly.
Okay, so the iTour app wasn't really what we had looked for, I guess, in a tour, but we did find a PDF online for the Winchester, Virginia, the Civil War years, a self-guided walking tour.
There's also two others. This is the one we picked.
This is the one we picked. So it goes through all these details, and it tells you to get to this address, and then there's a little blurb, and then it says proceed to the next address. So this first stop is the Kurtz building,
Which I'm going to zoom in up here. Kurtz, 1836.
Originally built as a grain warehouse, this building was a general merchandise store run by Thomas Latham and Son during the war years. In 1876, it was purchased by Captain George W. Kurtz, hence Kurtz Building, a veteran of the Stonewall Brigade, for his furniture and coffin making business, a leader in Confederate War associations. I can't talk today. He assisted many local veterans with advice and loans. The building was a popular gathering place for veterans to recount tales from the war. That's it.
Okay. Well,
So
historic building there. Well, where are we going next?
Proceed north to Rouse Avenue.
North?
Yes.
I think we're going that way.
Okay.
All right, onward.
This is the next stop on our walking tour. This is the Bell House, circa 1809. During the Civil War, this was the home of John N. Bell, a Winchester merchant during the war, and his wife, Margaretta. Not Margarita.
Margaretta.
It just says that the house was in range of fire during the battles.
Okay.
So they moved Margaretta and her son to the basement for safety.
I see. So it's kind of similar to what happened in Gettysburg, where because during the battles, which that says 3rd Winchester battlefield, so I guess during the 3rd battle, the house was in range of fire, so for safety, they had to take refuge in the basement.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as we're walking here, I just want to point out some architecture from the 1800s. We might have pointed this out previously when we were at Alair, But you see the side of the building here. These stars are not just decorative, they're also structural. So there's iron bars that run through it. You can see that on the front panel of the building there on the side. And basically these are tightened down. They provide support similar to what concrete and rebar would be doing nowadays. So they look pretty, but they're also part of the design for the architecture, for the support of the building. Very interesting.
So this is number 3 on our stop.
Yeah.
This is the Louden Street Taylor Hotel.
Here's the thing here. Now, we did make a quick stop here on our own yesterday.
It's a very beautiful building.
Yeah.
We used to have a 3-tiered porch, which it kind of looks like a slippery.
Yeah.
Why it says used to be.
Well, perhaps no access now.
It was used for headquarters for not only the Union soldiers. I really can't talk today. The Union soldiers as well as the Confederate soldiers.
Now, this was the hotel where Stonewall
Jackson
initially set up his headquarters.
Set up his office, his headquarters. And since he's like the rock star of the Civil War, he wasn't left alone.
Right.
So he needed someplace more quiet so he could focus on everything going off the war.
Which is where we were earlier today.
Yes.
At the Moore House.
Yes.
Yes.
Very beautiful house. You need to go to it. In local folklore, I swear I haven't had that much to drink today. Maybe it's the ice cream.
Maybe.
In local folklore, Winchester changed hands lots and lots of times during the war.
Over 70 times, I said.
Over 70 times. But in local folklore, as I was saying, it's rumored that the Taylor Hotel changed hands 5 times in one day.
Oh.
Between the Confederates, between the Union, back and forth, back and forth, back.
Okay. And so currently there's an eatery occupying what space is left. Now, they could go around the side this way. You can see a bit more of the architecture this way. Now you can imagine these porches and balconies, every available space being used by soldiers as hospital, rooms being used, occupied, everything here. And you can see the outline on the building in the background here. There was another portion to the hotel which has since gone away. You can see the back, the way that it's been built up again this way, but there's still some ruins here, which we can see here. It smells like French fries over here because of the bar. It's good. But anyway, you can see some of the what do you call it, foundation left. And of course, when you have these buildings here for so long, nothing but scars left on the adjoining structures. And this is a relatively new construction here, some type of all-weather thing. But very, very interesting. You could imagine troops going up and down Main Street, which is Louden here, and fighting back and forth and retreating back to the hotel. All right.
Yeah.
What's our next stop?
The next stop is south wall of Virginia National Bank.
Virginian National Bank. Okay, I think I know where that is. Let's go. Okay, so here we are. This is the south wall of the Virginia National Bank. Is that correct?
Yes.
And here we see a plaque actually commemorating what we're here to show. It says President William McKinley was made a Mason in a building on this location May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 1865. I guess it took 3 days apparently.
He obviously wasn't president yet.
No.
He was a general at the time.
So he was a general at the time.
And then he became our 25th president of the United States.
Right. And so during the occupation here in Winchester, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
207 enemy soldiers joined the Masons Lodge.
207 enemy soldiers.
Enemy.
Enemy.
In quotes.
Enemy. So, as in, which side?
Whatever side McKinley wasn't on, I guess.
Huh.
That's the way I'm taking it anyway.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Also, there's bees' nests. Let's go to the next spot.
Okay.
As we're walking, come across this. How intriguing. This is at Joe's Steakhouse at the Piccadilly Mansion, which I'm guessing used to be a mansion and is now a steakhouse. Okay, we're going this way. General this way direction. Okay guys, we're at our next destination. We actually went looking for another one, and it was interesting, but it was actually just a location, which is now a car park. It's a parking lot, and it was, yeah, it just kind of got, gets paved over, but it was a house of a Quaker Union sympathizer. So we decided to just fast forward now to our next location, which here was the steakhouse that we had passed previously. So here we have the Philip Williams House, which was built by Philip Williams, local attorney, in 1845. Now you can see the elaborate ironwork porch decorated with Greek motifs. Greek motifs. Let's see if I can get a zoom here. Okay, very, very elaborate. Okay. Now, during the war, the Civil War, the ironwork was removed and buried so it wouldn't be melted down for ammunition. Now, this is also historically significant because George S. Patton, P-A-T-T-O-N, yes, that Patton family, the grandfather of World War II General George S. Patton, was mortally wounded during the Third Battle of Winchester and brought here to his cousin Philip Williams' house, where he died. Look at that. Connections everywhere.
So behind me, across the street, is General Sheridan's headquarters. The home was built in 1850 by Lloyd Logan, a wealthy Winchester merchant. And it was commandeered by both General Milroy and General Sheridan in 2 different years. One in 1863, one in 1864.
People just keep stealing this house.
No, right? For their headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we're taking this. We're borrowing this. It's ours now.
Okay, so General Sheridan was on which side?
I don't know. This doesn't tell me.
Oh. I'm going to go ahead and say Union.
Sure.
We're going to look that up. We'll post the final result right here. We'll make a little thing and put it there. Okay. Okay.
Apparently, in 1863, that's when General Milroy claimed the house.
Mm-hmm.
He moved his family in and rudely ousted the Logan family. That's not very nice at all.
So this is mine now.
Yeah, he's kind of like, I'm taking this, get out.
Okay.
But then at some point in 1864, General Sheridan took over the house.
Right.
That's all I know.
Okay. And now
Now it's a shop.
it's a shop. Okay. Here we are at our next stop.
This was the home of Dr. and Mrs. James R. Graham. That one.
Dr. and Mrs. James R. Graham. Okay.
He was the pastor of the Kent Street Presbyterian Church, the church that Stonewall Jackson attended while he was staying in Winchester.
Okay.
During the winter of 1861 to 1862, Stonewall Jackson and Mrs. Jackson lived in the Graham family home for a time. Mrs. Jackson remained a friend of the Grahams and visited after the war. And there was a school in the basement in order to supplement a small salary for
Oh.
Mr. Graham.
Now we did learn at
For
the
Dr. Graham, I'm sorry.
we did learn at the Stonewall Museum. There's actually photographs and portrait of said Grahams
Yes.
located there. So that's actually something that you should check out. Okay, now we're at 209 Fairmont Avenue, the home of Dr. William Miller. Circa 1860. During the war, the Bank of Winchester was forced to close. So, in an effort to save the funds and documents, the young Dr. Miller secured the items in boxes and buried them in the cellar of his home. After peace was declared, it was safe for the bank to restart operations. So, every dollar and document was accounted for, leaving stockholders in a much better position than was expected.
Cool.
So not only did he take the personal risk of securing said funds and documents, he was very honest about it and brought it all back.
So this is the Christ Episcopal Church. It had a few minor additions and alterations, but
Right.
basically the church has stayed the same since the war. It didn't really receive any damage during the war because both Union soldiers, there you go again, soldiers and Confederate soldiers used it as their place of worship. Some soldiers refused to use the same place, so they would use the Kent Presbyterian Church, which was somewhere.
The other way.
That
Somewhere
way, I
else.
think. What else was there?
They used it as a field hospital.
Yep, used as a hospital. It was used as a jail for Confederate soldiers. Obviously, when it was in the hands of the Union. That's about it. Very pretty.
Now, this isn't important. This is not part of the Civil War. This is actually pre-Revolution. But so walking by at the church, the Episcopal church we were just describing, is the tomb of Lord Fairfax. Fairfax, of course, having had control over the lands here. Okay, everybody. Well, we're wrapping up our day today. We had quite an adventure. Wish we could have been able to share some more of the tours with you, but that's just more reason for you to get out here and do that yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's half the fun. It's actually most of the fun. You get to see these artifacts in person. That's really important. And you also, in the process, contribute to the historical societies to help them maintain these sites. So it's important to get out here. So we just give you a little taste, and you come out and you check it out on your own. So other things that we didn't get to show you today, we had lunch at a nice place called the 50/50 Tap House. Okay, and so what that is, the idea is they have 50 different kinds of burgers and 50 different kinds of beers.
Yes.
And everything was great, yeah.
It was very good.
Excellent. And so definitely check that out if you're in town. Let's see. Also, Broken Window Brewery.
Oh yes,
We checked them out. They were open special hours today for Memorial Day. So we were fortunate to be able to have that opportunity. And yeah, some really great stuff out here. Let's see, what else? Anything else?
Oh, did we mention the block ticket?
We did not. So we found out, let me just readjust this here.
That was great.
Okay. So we found out that they have a block ticket. Now, this was something we were trying to look into before. They didn't have it on the website. But the Historical Society does have what they call block ticket, where you could pay $10 for what would be $15 worth of ticket to visit the George Washington Office Museum, to then also visit the Abrams Delight Museum, which we saw this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and to see the
Stonewall Jackson Headquarters
right,
Museum.
getting all the names correct. So that saves you $5, and you're able to then go visit all 3 sites. There's no date on it, at least as far as the at the time of this filming.
Yeah.
So you can spread it out. When you visit each site, they cross out the site on your ticket that then invalidates that one for future visits. So
Right.
so that's good. And
Yeah.
let's see. So there's a lot to see, a lot to do around here. Tomorrow we're expecting to head out into a different area, and we'll see what the weather holds, what we're able to do. I don't want to say yes or no. No spoilers, but we still have another day and a half left out in this area, so we're going to see what we can make of it. But for now, we're tired. We did a lot of walking.
Yeah.
And we brought you along with us for most of those Civil War sites. There were others that we did not choose to bring to video because they're just not as impactful on film, video, recording, however you want to call it, as it is to see in person. So, that's okay. But we encourage you to come out and do these tours because there were 2 other tours that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
There was the George Washington's era, and there was also, I think, just a general Winchester walking tour. So you can take a look.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Yep.
A lot of walking, so definitely wear your walking shoes.
Wear your walking shoes, stay hydrated,
Yeah.
And check out the local businesses while you're doing it.
Yep.
Support them. We are going to get some rest.
Yes.
So if you like our video, make sure you click like, subscribe, hit the little notification icon, and let us know what you think in the comments. We'll see you on our next adventure. Good night, everybody.